I'm Sally Lee. Welcome to Poets from the Neighborhood.
And I'm Thomasjohn Wells Miller. We hope you enjoy these poems written by your friends and by your neighbors. Hoarding by Louise Colln. I think of hoarders, an article I read yesterday about keeping boxes of old things, handkerchiefs, blouses, afraid that letting one thing go will let some loved thing, person, hope, drift from the tubercles of the mind, as if that being accepts lying in boxes. I say to myself that in my moves to several homes, items slide off me like leaves in autumn, and then I remember that in a bottom drawer in my kitchen is a tangle of keys to every door I ever unlocked, and in a corner behind a door and rows of books is a statue with a bat broken, awarded to my dead son in Little League ball. Hoarding.
I met a frog, Barrera. I walked out into the garden and I met a frog. His eyes were half shut, but his mouth was in a wide smile, ready to flip his tongue so sly at the innocent fly-by. You would think he's princely, yogi, meditating, serene, soaked in the moment, taking in soul and mind in a better place. A wild world out there, emboldened, walking out into the garden, and if you meet a frog and mistook him for a hermit, beware. It won't be a prince cloaked, bewitched. Don't you be croaked.
Also by VeerajaR, Weapon, an epistolary poem. VeerajaR is the author of a new book, Joy of Being. Tell me, you tell me, what is it going to be? Weapons of mass destruction or instrument of peace? You decide. To bring change, you have the power, the free will. What is it going to be? You have the power with your ingenuity to save humanity. Take out the Goliath. Like David, with a simple weapon, to ply open chests, hardened ironclad. Hearts with vengeance, touched with grace, or pierced through beliefs. You decide. Send the message, whatever the faith, blood, red skin, blood's red, the skin, brown, black, or white. Use your weapon, the pen. You have the power, grace with words, free will for peace, to save humanity. Whatever the faith, you have the power to bring peace. Tell me now, what is it going to be?
Wild Turkey Hen by S.R. Lee. Unprotected, vulnerable, I sit down in the bright green grass on a lawn with not a scrap of shade for camouflage. I peck at the nearby bugs that yesterday I pursued all day over 2 pastures. I flew over 2 fences with ease and pleasure in the richness of insects that kept me strong to warm the eggs, beautiful eggs, creamy white. 4 of them resting against each other in their nest among the thick bushes by the pond. That male with the wide tail spread, gobble, gobble, gobbled, all up and down the valley, promising every hen in earshot how glorious his company would be, what joy we females would have in him, what joy of motherhood would follow. We knew, we had done this before. Mating is a joy for the gobbler, something of a stress for us, but the eggs growing inside us offer great promise, and once laid, they are beautiful in the nest. I have had 3 clutches of eggs throughout 3 springs. I led 5 chicks each year through the bordering woods, through the fields, into the shortcut yard. At first they were little downy balls. In time feathers came in, legs lengthened. Cheeps became squawks. We joined the flock. that traveled up and down the creek's valley, through the large, peaceful farms with cattle grazing slowly and no hunters. Hidden in the bushes, though, in the hilltop woods, slinking through the drainage ditches, through the field, dangers came. Coyote, dog, maybe big raccoon. I did not see it. My nest was near a barn. I thought the presence of humans would keep predators cautious. Hunger, fog before rain, some hopeful impulse emboldened my enemy. He made a hearty meal. I sit on the sunlit grass. I do not care who sees me, shoots me, attacks me for dinner, but none injure me. I am left to wander the green fields alone.
Second Love by Mary Lane. Just the title and the person's name is a poem. Second Love by Mary Lane. If we had met and loved some years ago, when young was all we knew, I would see you fail and think you will change for me in years to come. But since these years are spent on other loves, we know all time is now. So when you stumble, I will just nod and smile and love you all the more.
Afternoon Tea in the Nursing Home by Mary Lane. She wants the pretty cup, its dainty blue flowers and curved handle with a tiny tail. The strainer inside that brews her tea, then lifts out, leaving room for heavy cream and sugar lumps. It dreams her back to things that never were. She wears a gracious frock, waits for afternoon guests. A lover bows low over her hand. She forgets the afternoon office meeting, business clothes, unhappy boss, hurrying home to cook the dinner for whichever members of her family could spare the time to eat together. She doesn't want her walker, only the pretty cup. Thank you for joining us in Poets for the Neighborhood.